Alright my friends, we're starting off with the back of our mats in a nice tall, confident mountain pose. Palms of your hands facing the front of the mats, chin is lifted slightly. Just taking a few centering, calming breaths. We will pick up some strength as we go along throughout this flow. For right now, we're coming into some sun salutations. Just to start moving our bodies nice and gently. Going to stretch out our waist now, bringing your left arm up and overhead, right arm behind your left hip, left foot behind your right foot. By all means you can add an additional challenge keeping the eyes closed, but for better assurance keep your eyes open. Now switching out sides, right arm up overhead, left arm behind at the right hip, right foot behind the left foot. Stretching out our right side now. Coming back through to center and taking on some more sun salutations. Reaching up for the energy above our heads and bringing it on down with us into a prayer position with your hands together. From here, sweeping your arms behind you, interlocking fingers, coming into a hind shoulder stretch. I'm also personally choosing to come into a half chair, arched lower back, sinking to the hips, bending at the knees, and for an extra touch of challenge, rising up through the heels to stretch out my feet. But you don't have to worry about that part if you don't want to. Lowering your heels if you hadn't already, bending from the hips, you're coming into a shoulder stretch forward fold. Also bending from the knees just a little bit. Don't worry about if your hands don't reach the direction of the mat, just as long as you feel a nice stretch. And now releasing your hands, coming into a regular forward fold. Still making sure to bend from the hips. And now walking your way on through to the top of your mat. We're coming to our first exercise, a donkey kick plank. Bending your right knee, flexing your right foot and kicking through. 10 reps here at your own pace. Try to push through the plank, but if you need to drop your non-working leg, by all means, but try to push through. So once you have concluded the 10 reps, come into your chaturanga, upward facing dog just for a moment. And then pushing your way on up to downward dog just to reset. For a quick breather. And then coming back on through to plank, left side plank donkey kicks. Bending your left knee, flexing your left foot and kicking through your left glute. If you do need to bring your non-working leg down just to make this easier on you, by all means. But try to push through 10 reps of this. And once you have concluded that, chaturanga, upward facing dog for a moment. And then push back downward facing dog just to reset and prepare for the next few exercises. Coming back through to plank, and this time oblique crunches on the right side, right knee to right elbow, 10 reps. Trying to bring your right knee as close to your right elbow as you can. It does not matter if you don't make contact. As soon as you're done, switch to the other side immediately. Left knee to left elbow, 10 reps, or just as far as you can make it as long as you feel your obliques engage. At this point now, 3 different options: shoulder taps, up and down plank, and or lower elbow plank. So choose your fighter, choose for as long as you can manage. If you do feel your form falling apart, just lower down into Sphinx pose. Then join back in with me. And if you've managed to last as long as me or even longer, we're going to now come into some hip dips. 10 reps for hip dips, so 1 and then 2 is your reps on either side. And once you have concluded those, you're then going to join me into Sphinx pose. Coming on up and pressing your way up to downward dog. So although we just did 10 reps for each of those exercises, all of them combined definitely still work this. So now shifting your right leg forward, coming into a high lunge / warrior. Right now we're just static holding. Imagine it as a basketball between the palms of your hands with distance. The further out your feet are, the lower your hips, the further in, the higher your hips. Coming into 15 reps of lunge pulses. You're also going to grab onto your hands and leaving out your finger, your index finger and your thumb. So 15 reps at your own pace. And once you've concluded that, coming into your warrior. I was a bit nervous in coming into this warrior on this side, especially with my straight left knee. But as I'm in it, I had actually nothing to worry about because my left knee was not phased. So arms outstretched, bending the right knee straight into the left leg. And now a peaceful warrior, right arm up overhead, left hand reaching for anywhere along your left leg. Coming now into your extended side angle, so left arm reaches up and overhead, right elbow, right knee. And now coming on through to your peaceful warrior again. Don't worry, there isn't so much of a arch in upper body and not so much of a space between your arm and waist. Just as long as they're feeling good in this posture is all that matters. And coming back into your extended side angle. Reaching on down to the ground now, you're going to come into a lunge momentarily, nice and safely. And then pushing back into a pyramid pose. So we're lifting up through the left heel to ensure square hips, your upper body is slumped over your right leg. Lift up onto your fingertips, flat palms, or use props, just to encourage a nice stretch through our hamstring and calf. And now a momentary of a lunge, stepping on through into your chair posture, sinking with the hips into the knees, hands reach up and overhead. Reaching on for the ground, stepping back into your downward dog for another reset. We'll repeat that on the other side. Stepping on through with your left foot forward. High lunge / warrior. Don't worry if you lose your balance for half a second, just recenter yourself. Hands up and overhead with the invisible basketball, static holding just for now. Same thing with the feet, the further out, the lower your hips, the further in, the higher your hips. And now for 15 reps of lunge pulses, and once again you're going to intertwine fingers except for index and thumb. So 15 reps at your own pace. And once again, once you have finalized the reps, you're coming into your warrior, arms outstretched, bending in through the left knee, straightened right leg. And now arching back into your peaceful warrior. Breathing deeply and feeling good in these postures, coming through to your extended side angle. Coming back through to your peaceful warrior. And one more time with the extended side angle. Reaching for the mat and adjusting your weight, turning on your heel to the ball of your foot, now into your left side pyramid pose. So lifting up through the right heel to encourage square hips. We're just stretching out through the left hamstring and calf. And do whatever you want with your fingers. Now stepping through and then Coming down into your seated position, but then laying all the way back onto your mat, coming into some more core and ab exercises. 10 reps of these bicycle straight leg crunches, so opposite elbow, opposite leg. Grabbing your yoga block and placing under the tailbone zone of your bottom. We're coming into 10 reps of leg drops to work the lower abs, and with the added yoga block it definitely makes it a lot more challenging. So do what you can manage, even with bent legs, as you see with me. On up and then springing yourself back. Even if that was just a bit of a fail, we are going to try again and come into our plow posture just for a moment. Make sure that you're absolutely lifting up your chin to protect your neck. Once we've concluded that, we're going to come into 10 reps of jackknives. So bringing the block up to your feet in the middle and then parting ways. The block comes up and over your head behind you and your heels almost touch the ground. Again, whether or not you need to bend in your knees, but it's definitely working the core. Setting aside the block, because now we're coming into glute pumps, adjusting your heels accordingly. And coming into 10 reps of glute pumps, regular, non-fancy glute pumps. Ten reps of either staggered like this, or you can lift up your non-working leg up in the air, but to make it life easier on yourself knee-wise, just keep the staggered onto single-legged right side glute pumps. But the staggered just helps to encourage the same effect as single-legged. Back to regular glute bridges, more 10 reps. Once you have concluded that, then you can just shift your right foot forward. So now we're on to a modified single-legged left side glute bridges. And again, you can lift up your foot to the sky if you want, or just make life easier for yourself knees wise and go with the staggered version. Now switching it up, you're going to roll over to your left but lifting up your right knee in clamshell. I'm doing about 20 reps here at your own pace. Flipping right on over to your right side of the mat, but you're going to be lifting on your left side, 20 reps of clamshells on the left side. Flipping back over into some scissor kicks, 15 reps of these elevated through the left foot but kicking up and down with your right leg. Flipping on over to the right side of your mat, this time 15 reps of scissor kicks on the left side. So elevated right leg, but you're kicking up and down with your left leg. Laying on through to center, straightening out your legs and using the reach of your arms to bring yourself up into a seated upright crunch. This is the last core exercise we'll be doing and it's only 10 reps. You got this. Scooching your way on forward and at long last coming into a modified ball. You can come into a regular ball wrapping your arms around your knees, but if you still get the residual tension around your injured knee, then place your arms underneath of your calves / behind your knees and rock back and forth if you like, releasing from that and coming into your butterfly pose. I'm personally adding a yoga block under my head just for some extra comfort, and because extensions for tugging on the roots not comfortable. So we're just chilling out here for a couple of breaths. And now bring your knees back together, straighten your legs out, coming into honestly the most glorious pose there is, your Shavasana corpse pose. Especially if you've been working out hard or working hard, genuinely or out of fitness. This is an amazing posture to be in, to absorb everything you've just done throughout your week or just now with this workout. Soak it all in and relax it all out. You gained a lot of strength along the way, and now you get to relax the rest of the way. If of course you don't have that much time on your hands, start to roll through onto your side lying fetal position, then coming up to a seated position into an easy seated pose, whatever that means for you. I'm coming into a cross-legged position. As you can see, I don't really require a yoga block under my leg anymore, so transitioning my way out of it. If you can stay in Shavasana for even longer, definitely stay even longer. And even if sitting in easy seated pose you're still suddenly in a rush, by all means wrap up this flow. Close off however you will. But I'm going to sit here for a little bit longer, as I found myself basking in the stillness, listening to the sound of the breeze around me. It was an absolute gorgeous day today. Despite my eyes being closed, I really enjoyed this day. So just indulging the stillness for a little bit longer, and now we're reaching our arms up and overhead, bringing down some energy for the rest of our day, praying for good health, for a good mindset, bowing down to ourselves and feeling so much gratitude. Thank you all so much for flowing and or just viewing. I do appreciate it either way. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you for the rest of my videos. Namaste.